In terms of transitioning to a dementia unit, one of the most important but often overlooked things is bedroom setup. Now, this is where the person is going to be living from now on long term, so it's important that it aids their comfort and their life enjoyment. And from this point on, it needs to be seen, everything needs to be seen from the dementia resident's perspective, A to Z. Because if you can see through their eyes what is important for them and what they need to facilitate their comfort and life enjoyment, then you're much more likely to get the recipe right. Now, firstly, with the room choice, take the room location and the view. View is very important. Dementia residents can spend half their day looking out their bedroom window, so get a view that they like and that they enjoy and that works for them. So for example, if your father has been a farmer and he's loved the outdoors, the farming, the animals, it's better that he has a view of rolling hills and dales rather than a fancy manicured garden. Whereas if it's your mother who loves gardening and loves flowers, if she can look out onto the retirement village lawn and gardens, that will suit her. And indeed, some dementia residents, interestingly enough, enjoy looking out at the car park. If they've enjoyed driving and they've always had a car and they like to see people coming and going, looking out onto car parks is actually quite interesting for them. So that is the room choice in terms of a view. Now, if the person is younger, it's a different set of circumstances. If they're younger, fitter, stronger, and all they want is to get out, walk about and have some exercise, often the case, always the case for fit younger people. Very different to a 90-year-old, isn't it? Coming in, she'll just be happy to sit, look out the window. Maybe some are pretty active though, but for most young people, they don't want to do that. They want to be out and about. So for them, it's the priority is to get a dementia facility that has an outside area that the person can walk in. Really, that's the priority, where they can walk, feel the sunshine, look at the birds, fresh air, all of that, because they're used to fitness and exercise and they need to keep up their fitness and exercise to be able to develop a tolerance and a resilience for living in such a place, especially being so young, which makes it all the more difficult. If they can get outside and exercise, it really will help their ability to sustain the tolerance levels that they need for living in such a place. If they're confined without a place to walk about and they can't get out, relatives aren't coming to take them for walks, it's a dire, really dire situation. So the other two aspects to view. Now, the third thing to look into in terms of room choice is the location. Now, dementia residents are notoriously have long corridors and rooms each side, and it's often a long way to walk to the bathroom. If your room is at the end of the corridor, it can be a good 100 metres to walk to get to the bathroom every 2 hours or whatever, which is a long way if you've got sore hips or heart failure. So if your mother is elderly, it is a good idea to try to get the bedroom close to the nurse's station, because the nurse's station is where the TV lounge will be, and that is where the dementia residents spend most of their day. So you want her bedroom to be close to the TV lounge so it's not as draining and demanding for her to walk to if it's only 20 metres away compared to 100 metres away. Now, another thing is that if the person has poor direction orientation, which about 60% of dementia residents have, then they'll find it difficult finding their room way at the end of the corridor with blank doors all the way along and which one is theirs. They'll find it much easier to find their room first or second on the right after the nurse's station than 15th on the left at the end of the corridor. So all of these things need to be weighed up carefully as to what's important for the person, whether it's the view, whether it's the view out the window, whether it's walking outside, whether it's location of the room. Think this all out beforehand, before making the decision. about the room. Now, of course, it's difficult often to get into dementia facilities. They're in high demand, so you might not have much of a choice, but be flexible, do the best you can. Now, when your relative comes into the dementia unit room, also be aware, and you can also say this on admission, look, this room isn't really suiting Dad because looking out onto a flower garden really isn't his thing, but if and when someone else moves from their room, which of course people in dementia units do when they pass on or go to the hospital, when there's another vacant room on, say, the north-facing side where he can see the hills and the farms, can we please change his room location to that position? So you can change positions of the room for your parent once they're in the facility, but say that at the beginning so that they will put you down as a priority for reconsidering room placement. So all these points and more in the two books, Residents' Voice and Residents' Rise, both on Amazon, in the description below, companion books. Thank you for your viewing and support, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.